Welcome to WhatGear Reviews. Consider subscribing if you like tech reviews and loads of other tech related stuff like this, the Realme 5. And I'm going to give you 5 flagship features that you're going to get on this device at a budget price. Number 1, the quad camera array. The Realme 5 comes in at under 170 euros at the time of this video, which places itself firmly in the budget smartphone category. But this phone has more shooters than the majority of flagship smartphones out there today in 2019. It comes with a 12 megapixel primary, 119 degree 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and my favorite, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and you can even take photos from just 4 centimeters away for incredible detail. Combine that with the AI camera features and 4K 30 frames per second video and a really solid electronic image stabilization when shooting video in 1080p on the front and back camera. Combine all of that together and you've got a budget friendly, formidable firepower shooter. Number 2, a 5000 mAh battery. Now some of you will be like, wow, that's huge. But for some of you who don't know, let me just put it into perspective for you. So the iPhone 11 Pro Max has less than 4000 mAh. The Note 10 Plus has around 4300, and the Google Pixel 4 has less than 4000 at 3700 mAh. So 5000 is huge. And all 3 of those devices I just mentioned are around 5 times the price of the Realme 5. So in my opinion, this is better than flagship level battery power, and 5000 mAh equates to about 19 hours of continuous video streaming on YouTube, or 8.5 hours of continuous gaming on PUBG or Call of Duty or something like that, and that's pretty insane. And of course, you know battery power is so important because a smartphone won't work
unless you've got power.
Number 3, a huge display. So the reality is more and more of us use our devices more for multimedia than we do for taking and making phone calls, and that's why the size of the screen is really important. And again, this is an area where the Realme 5 delivers a flagship size screen. It's 6.5 inches, HD plus LED, 269 pixels per inch, which is pretty decent, and the color reproduction is pretty good considering the price. And at the top of the display we just got this little nipple notch, and I can't take credit for that one. I heard it from Chris from TechSpert and it made me laugh. I think it's better than having a massive notch like you see on the iPhones, or a big forehead. Nipple notch, this is so funny. Number 2, the latest Snapdragon 665. So Qualcomm make the leading flagship processors on the market, and the 665, yes, it isn't a flagship chip, but it is a new one, and is capable of delivering more than enough processing power for your gaming, your streaming, your photography. Combine that with a flagship level 4 GB of RAM, and you've got plenty of power on board. Games run smooth and loading speeds are fast. AI and processing is pretty snappy too. So yes, it's not a flagship chip, but hey, for the money, it ain't bad. So do me a favor, if you know of a flagship device this year that has a headphone jack, let me know the name of that in the comments below. And yes, the Realme 5 comes with a headphone jack, and it also supports Bluetooth 5.0, and the real advantage of a headphone jack is the fact that you can cut out any latency. So if you're using a smartphone for gaming or watching films, there's a really real issue here for a lot of devices, and it's lag. With certain headsets, due to latency, you might hear sounds after they happen on screen, and this is such a serious problem for so many devices, including some flagships, but not with the Realme 5. Thanks to the jack, you can use your wired headphones and minimize latency issues when gaming or watching films. And as well as that, if you've got a newish set of wireless Bluetooth headphones that support Bluetooth 5.0, you'll be alright as well. And I heard the aptX adaptive codec from Qualcomm should be coming to devices running Android 9 and above, so hopefully we'll get to see that on the Realme 5, which should minimize latency issues when using wireless headsets in the future. And one awesome headset I could definitely recommend to you guys is the Bowers & Wilkins PX7 that does support aptX adaptive. If you want to check that out, thumbnail's on screen right now. And if you want to learn a bit more about the new processors from Qualcomm like the 665 in this device, there's another thumbnail on screen. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. See you in the next one. Don't be late.